Cool. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Thank you for having this conversation with me.
You're welcome.
I wanted to start with a question for you. Would you share a little bit with us about your journey into transformation as a discipline that you're sharing with the world? How did you get into delivering transformational courses?
Oh, really good question. Well, I started very naturally as a kid being a judo player, and I got introduced to the world of performance and Zen and had moments where you got into flow. And I got really interested in that. So I studied a lot about it in undergrad, and then I found out there were a lot of other people that knew about it. And there were people that actually could teach it. So first I did the Zen thing, and then I found out in the corporate world and there's other programs that create awareness. So I got introduced to more and more of those, and I found what I loved, and then I started learning everything about it and apprenticed for about 5 years. So it was really learning there's a whole art and a methodology for causing that kind of experience for people to be at their best and perform at their best, especially in teams.
Did you did you have any before you started to deliver transformational programs? Did you do other work, and did you have a particular realization that had it seem like this is the direction you now want to move your whole life into?
A bit, you know, with those early Zen things, you see really anything is possible, and what you put your mind to and you can accomplish, and you could see all the problems people had. And, I finished undergrad, went to law school, and I wanted to do civil rights law and help people be treated with dignity, respect, and people get along and just have relationship. And there was an insight about halfway through that this was never going to make any difference. That the problem wasn't a system problem or structure problem. The problem was a people problem. People were scared, they were threatened, or they're greedy, or they wanted something, or they're upset. And once I saw that disappear for people, when I did some transformational work, where people did a 180, they were all about themselves, and then they had that sudden blinding insight. I love that when people woke up. And it's like, oh, it's all about me. No wonder my relationship doesn't work. And so I kind of had some of those growing up experiences too. I was like, wait a minute, it's not all about me? Damn it. Okay, no wonder these things aren't working. So that was really, for me, it was the interaction with people and starting to see it, that the light bulb kind of went off for me, and that's kind of the moments I liked.
Thank you. What is that happens with people? You know, when people have a moment like that, where all of a sudden they see their entire lives
Yeah.
right before their very eyes. What is that's happening, and what allows for it? Like, how does that become possible?
Those transcendent moments are
Yes.
really quite cool.
Yeah.
I wish you could catch them on camera, because when you watch people have it, it's kind of like they go from one place to another, and you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
But what happens is people get enough distance from themselves. You give them some ways to look at things, some distinctions that allow them to see what's at the root of their behavior. Who are they? What do they really care about? But what's happening? And they kind of observe it like an observer watching themselves, and then they start to have that realization. I think I'm kind of responsible for all that. Not sure where it came from, but I'm clear about the impact. And then they have a moment of choosing where I could continue on, or I think I need to confront something that it's really me. So I love that, and it doesn't take, if you talk to people and interact with people, it doesn't take a couple years to have them have that kind of insight. With the right way of looking at it, you start to see, oh, I'm enmeshed in a system, and I'm a part of it, and I'm causing it, rather than everybody else is the problem, and people would just shut up and listen, it'll work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just get what I want, then everything will work out for everybody.
Exactly. If they just understood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that moment of really seeing a bigger picture and a bigger self, then they can compare it to who they are, who they want to be, and who they've been, and they get to choose.
So powerful and simple.
It really is a lot simpler than people think.
Yeah.
It's just the ability to see, oh, this is what's driving my behavior,
Yeah.
or this is what's shaping it. And then being responsible for it rather than being a victim of it. Oh, well, these things happen. Okay, so now what are we going to do with this? It's like a moment of choice, a moment of power in the face of, I'm kind of at the effect of everything. And we all feel at the effect of things now and then, but it's taking back that power and finding distinctions or ways of looking at the world that allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's great when the light bulb goes off for people. You can just see, the Brits say the penny dropped. You can just see people go, oh, well, now this explains it. Okay. And then what can you do about it versus what do other people need to change?
Right.
Because you change one thing in the system, it changes the whole system. That's the other fun thing.
And if you change one thing in yourself, everything else changes around you too.
I know. It's funny. When I had a breakthrough, my mom was bipolar, so she was fun to deal with. You never knew which mom you get day by day. And when I really got, oh, she just loves me, and she's dealing with a mental illness, she changed. I was like, how did that happen? She was like way less upset with me all the time. And, she's still dealing with her illness, so she came and went. Completely changed, though. It was like 100% difference. And it wasn't just how I acted or something. Our relationship, something happened where she kind of got her job done, and I'm okay. And then she could just relax a bit. It's kind of nice. But it was funny to see that I was the one that had to do that, not her.
Yes.
And that's kind of cool.
Yes. One more question I have for you is, right now, you're extremely accomplished in your,
I've led a few courses.
Extremely accomplished.
Yeah.
What is it about this opportunity? What is it about the opportunity with Shepherd Youth that's compelling?
That's easy.
Yeah.
Causing those moments of self-reflection, I kind of did it the hard way. I spent years sitting, doing judo, martial arts. It took a long time. The opportunity to work with a methodology and plant-based medicine is the opportunity to accelerate that insight, to accelerate and let go of the things that keep us from looking. In Rogerian therapy, you say it takes 2 years to get enough trust that you can say, you might have something to do with it. But with some of the modalities we have, people can see themselves without that fear and recognize all of that stuff very, very quickly. Whatever we can do to accelerate that makes a difference for them, everyone they touch, them fulfilling their mission. I really see it as an opportunity, not that I'm giving up on the old ways of causing it, but when you add everything together, you do what works the best, the quickest, that makes the deepest difference. Still takes follow-up, still takes integrating, and yet, if we can accelerate that process, it would be nice to get those 5 years I sat in Zen back. It's a lot of sitting, a lot of the mind, until you can finally just let go of it.
Yes.
You get to the place where you have no mind, right? Which
Yes.
is where you and I are, where it just never happens. If it does, you're like, whoa, is there a mind? Years and years and years and years. And the idea that people are going to have the discipline to do that and cause that in these days is probably not as likely. So that's why I think it's really unique. And when you put the worlds together, there's something possible that isn't possible in one or the other world.
Yes.
That overlap creates a real transformation.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pause here. Thank you.
How's that?
Great.
So good.
That was great. That was great.
Good.
Thank
All right.
you.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Answers the questions I asked.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Let me get my water.
Your water. All right.
You got your next thing?